The proposals today are we're doing consultation with the local community over a new community stadium in Broad Street and a redevelopment of Central Park. We've got the proposals here on Wednesday and Thursday, and so far we've had about 20 people, so we're very pleased, but the more the merrier that come along and participate in this. This will lead to planning applications in the very near future and hopefully a major redevelopment of Central Park and a new community stadium in Broad Street. The new stadium, we hope, will move towards a more community-based stadium with greater involvement of the local people. That's very much our ambition. Well, it will benefit hopefully first and foremost the local community in Cowdenbeath, insofar as they'll get better facilities for football and for a range of other leisure pursuits. It's very important that the new stadium is used to the widest possible degree. It will create a brave new future and hopefully attract more people, so a long sustainable future for Cowdenbeath. Plus the redevelopment of the existing site where we're standing today, Central Park, will complement the town centre and hopefully create jobs. So in our view, it's a double win for Cowdenbeath. It's new facilities for local people, it's a better, brighter future for Cowdenbeath Football Club, and it's redevelopment of Central Park to reinforce the town centre, and hopefully a lot of jobs out of that will help a community.
Well, I think it's widely acknowledged that Central Park it's an ageing facility. I don't think the economics are there for a complete revamp of the existing ground. It just doesn't add up. So a ground move really is the only option. I appreciate there's a lot of history attached with the ground. Some fans won't like to move. It's the same with any other football club. There are some traditionalists out there, but I'm hoping that there'll be some progressive fans out there as well that realise that, with the finances in Scottish football at the moment, an efficient sort of ground with a synthetic pitch, which the way a lot of clubs our size are moving, is the way forward, and way forward for the future of especially the youth in the area, and being able to filter what we're trying to do into the local community. That I think we've lost that community connection in recent years, and we're really trying to rebuild that through this new community facility, and get the children of the area, the local teams, the amateur teams, the boys clubs all on board, being able to use this synthetic pitch that we'll have along the road.
Everybody I've spoken to wants something to happen. There is no one that we've spoken to today who says, what we've got here is perfect, let's just keep it the way it is. So there's unanimity that in fact we've got to have change. There are people who have brought out a number of points about where they would like the stadium to go, the facilities they would like to get, but most I think are accepting that you've got to start with something you can afford. And once we've got a new facility that's run by and controlled more by the local community, that in fact then you can grow it from there.
New facilities planned to be built at Broad Street, in the woodland area up there. I'm not too familiar with it myself. I'm sure a lot more of the locals will be, but we see it as a good site for the new facility. recommended to us by Fife Council planners themselves as an available Fife Council owned land site. The funding for the new facility will primarily come from the redevelopment of Central Park. The Brewsters, being the owners, will have to be repaid their sort of initial investment and the interest on top of that, basically their costs. But we aren't looking for anything else above that. So the surplus funds that hopefully we'll receive from the supermarket operator will go towards the new facility. External funding, new shareholders that may come on board with the new structure, and also the footballing bodies, after the Henry McLeish report, had a recent email from David Longmuir telling me that the three bodies are in active negotiations with the Scottish Government to fund capital projects like this one here, and hopefully that will help to boost funds for the new facility.
The key to the whole thing is we've got to broaden the appeal of football. At the moment, the crowds, as all the local people know, are fairly poor. 300 and 400 at a home game is very disappointing when the club is now in the First Division. What we hope to do is to create a modern football facility with more community involvement and attract people, not just men, women, girls, boys and girls, back to enjoying football. Also, we want to have a range of facilities where you can have a wedding reception, you can have a social event, you can have a leisure event, you can have a football game ongoing, rather than at the moment the facilities we've got are limited really just to football on a Saturday and the stock car racing on a Saturday evening. We've got to get something that operates 7 days a week.
At the moment, both the stock cars and the football are to move to the new facility, and that's based purely on economics. If we can afford to build two facilities out of the receipt from the supermarket operator, then fair enough. And I think ideally that's what both sets of fans and both companies would like to see happen. But at the moment, I think we have to stick to the sort of bare minimum of what we can achieve. If we can achieve more, great, as a bonus. But at the moment, I think it will be as is, with the stock car track round a synthetic pitch. Obviously, ideally, we'd launch both applications together. The economics of it just don't work at the moment. We need to make sure we can secure a planning application on Central Park, first of all, before we launch the planning application for the new site, for the new facility. So there may be a time lag period when we do have to look elsewhere, maybe a season or even two with a local football club, Dunfermline down the road, Wraith Rovers, and Groundshare, if there is a time lag. And I can't say for definite whether there will be or not at the moment, but it may be something that we have to look at.
I think, like everything, there are risks in any project. I think that the bigger risk is doing nothing. I think from our point of view, it's a key time to do things. The development will be very much driven on the back of a retail development on Central Park. The current situation is we're encouraged that retailers are interested in the site, subject to it getting planning consent. So I think from our point of view, broadly positive, and we're hopeful that things will pick up and there's a big bright future for Cowdenbeath in the very near future.